Welcome to this exploration of the profound concept of letting go of the ego. In this video, we will delve into the transformative power of recognizing and releasing the ego, drawing inspiration from the insights of Eckhart Tolle, a renowned spiritual teacher. By understanding the nature of the ego and learning to transcend it, we can unlock a deeper sense of freedom, happiness, and authentic self-expression. The nature of the ego. The ego is a fundamental aspect of human psychology, often described as the sense of self that is constructed through thoughts, beliefs, and identifications. It is the voice in our head that narrates our experiences, judges our actions, and compares us to others. While the ego can be useful for navigating the world, it often becomes a source of suffering when we become overly identified with it. Eckhart Tolle describes the ego as a false self, a mental construct that obscures our true essence. The ego thrives on separation, comparison, and the need for validation. It creates a sense of lack and incompleteness, driving us to seek fulfillment outside of ourselves. However, true freedom and happiness lie in recognizing and transcending the ego, allowing us to connect with our deeper, authentic self. The ego is deeply ingrained in our psyche, shaping our perceptions and reactions. It is responsible for the incessant stream of thoughts that occupy our minds, creating a false narrative about who we are and how we should live. This narrative is often based on fear, insecurity, and the need for control, leading to a life that is driven by external circumstances rather than inner truth. Understanding the nature of the ego is the first step towards liberation. By recognizing the ego's patterns and mechanisms, we can begin to disidentify from it and connect with our true self. This process of self-awareness and inner exploration is essential for achieving true freedom and happiness. Recognizing the ego. The first step in letting go of the ego is to recognize its presence in our lives. The ego manifests in various ways, often disguising itself as our true self. Here are some common signs of egoic thinking and behavior. Comparison and judgment. The ego constantly compares us to others, fostering feelings of superiority or inferiority. It judges ourselves and others harshly, creating a sense of separation and division. The ego thrives on comparison and judgment, constantly measuring us against others. This creates a sense of separation and division, leading to feelings of superiority or inferiority. By recognizing this pattern, we can begin to disidentify from the ego and cultivate a sense of unity and compassion. Attachment to identity. The ego derives its sense of self from external identities such as our job, social status, possessions, and roles. It clings to these identities and feels threatened when they are challenged or lost. The ego's attachment to external identities creates a fragile sense of self that is easily threatened. By recognizing this attachment, we can begin to let go of the ego's need for validation and approval and connect with our true essence. Need for validation. The ego seeks validation and approval from others to feel worthy and important. It craves recognition and fears rejection, leading to a constant pursuit of external validation. The ego's need for validation is a source of endless striving and dissatisfaction. By recognizing this need, we can begin to cultivate a sense of self-worth that is not dependent on external circumstances. Defensiveness and reactivity. The ego is easily offended and reacts defensively to perceived threats. It feels the need to protect its self-image and often responds with anger, blame, or resentment. The ego's defensiveness and reactivity create a cycle of conflict and suffering. By recognizing this pattern, we can begin to respond to life with greater awareness and compassion, breaking free from the ego's grip. Fear and anxiety. The ego is driven by fear and anxiety, constantly worrying about the future and regretting the past. It creates a sense of lack and insecurity, making it difficult to find peace and contentment in the present moment. The ego's fear and anxiety create a sense of lack and insecurity that prevents us from experiencing true peace and happiness. By recognizing this pattern, we can begin to cultivate a sense of presence and inner peace that transcends the ego's limitations. By becoming aware of these egoic patterns, we can begin to disidentify from them and create space for our true self to emerge. Awareness is the key to transcending the ego, as it allows us to see the ego for what it is, a mental construct that does not define our true essence. The process of letting go. Letting go of the ego is a process that requires patience, practice, and a willingness to look within. Here are some practical steps inspired by Eckhart Tolle's teachings to help you recognize and release the ego. Cultivate presence. The ego thrives on past regrets and future anxieties. By bringing your attention to the present moment, you can break free from the ego's grip. Practice mindfulness and meditation to develop a greater sense of presence and awareness. Presence is a powerful antidote to the ego. When we are fully present, we are not caught up in the ego's stories and identifications. We become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, allowing us to observe them without attachment. This practice helps us cultivate inner peace and clarity, making it easier to recognize and release egoic patterns. Mindfulness and meditation are essential practices for cultivating presence. By focusing on the breath, bodily sensations, or a chosen mantra, we create a point of attention that draws us away from the mental chatter and into the here and now. With regular practice, we develop the ability to stay present and centered, even amidst life's challenges. Observe your thoughts. Become an observer of your thoughts without judgment. Notice when the ego is at play, and gently remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. This awareness creates a distance between you and the ego, allowing you to respond rather than react. Observing our thoughts is a crucial step in disidentifying from the ego. By becoming a witness to our mental activity, we create a space between our true self and the egoic mind. This space allows us to see our thoughts more objectively, reducing their power over us. With practice, we can develop the ability to choose our responses rather than react impulsively. This practice of observation requires mindfulness and self-awareness. By regularly checking in with ourselves and noticing our thoughts and emotions, we develop the ability to stay present and centered. This awareness helps us break free from the ego's grip and cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and clarity. Practice self-compassion. The ego often feeds on self-criticism and judgment. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding. Recognize that you are not defined by your egoic thoughts and behaviors, and embrace your inherent worthiness. Self-compassion is a powerful tool for healing the wounds created by the ego. By treating ourselves with kindness and understanding, we create a supportive environment for our true self to flourish. This practice helps us release the need for external validation and fosters a deeper sense of self-acceptance and inner peace. Self-compassion involves acknowledging our mistakes and shortcomings without judgment. By recognizing that we are all human and imperfect, we cultivate a sense of empathy and understanding for ourselves and others. This practice helps us break free from the ego's grip and cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Release attachments. Identify the external identities and attachments that the ego clings to, and practice letting go of them. This might involve reevaluating your relationship with material possessions, social status, or roles. Recognize that your true self is not defined by these external factors. Letting go of attachments is a liberating process that frees us from the ego's grip. By releasing our identification with external factors, we create space for our true self to emerge. This practice helps us cultivate a sense of inner abundance and contentment, reducing the need for external validation and approval. This process of releasing attachments requires mindfulness and self-awareness. By regularly checking in with ourselves and noticing our attachments, we develop the ability to stay present and centered. This awareness helps us break free from the ego's grip and cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment. Embrace vulnerability. The ego often builds walls to protect itself from perceived threats. Embrace vulnerability by allowing yourself to be open and authentic with others. Recognize that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness, and that true connection and intimacy come from being genuine. Embracing vulnerability is a courageous act that dismantles the ego's defenses. By allowing ourselves to be open and authentic, we create opportunities for genuine connection and intimacy. This practice helps us cultivate deeper relationships and fosters a sense of belonging and acceptance. Vulnerability involves being honest and transparent about our thoughts and feelings. By sharing our true selves with others, we create a space for genuine connection and intimacy. This practice helps us break free from the ego's grip and cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace and fulfillment. The benefits of letting go of the ego. Letting go of the ego leads to a profound sense of freedom and happiness. Here are some of the transformative benefits of releasing the ego. Inner peace. By disidentifying from the ego, we experience a deep sense of inner peace. We are no longer driven by fear, anxiety, and the need for external validation. This inner peace allows us to navigate life's challenges with greater ease and resilience. Inner peace is one of the most significant benefits of letting go of the ego. When we release our attachment to egoic thoughts and behaviors, we create space for stillness and tranquility to arise. This inner peace supports us in our daily activities, helping us stay centered and grounded amidst life's demands. Authentic self-expression. Letting go of the ego allows us to connect with our true self and express ourselves authentically. We no longer feel the need to conform to societal expectations or seek approval from others. This authenticity fosters a sense of freedom and creativity. Authentic self-expression is a natural outcome of releasing the ego. When we connect with our true self, we discover our unique gifts and talents. This authenticity allows us to express ourselves more fully and creatively, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Deeper relationships. Releasing the ego enhances our ability to connect with others on a deeper level. We become more empathetic, compassionate, and understanding, fostering meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Deeper relationships are a significant benefit of letting go of the ego. When we release our need for validation and approval, we create space for genuine connection and intimacy. This practice helps us build stronger and more meaningful relationships, enriching our lives and fostering a sense of belonging and acceptance. Increased joy and fulfillment. By letting go of the ego, we find joy and fulfillment in the present moment. We no longer seek happiness outside of ourselves, but recognize that true happiness comes from within. Increased joy and fulfillment are the natural outcomes of releasing the ego. When we disidentify from egoic thoughts and behaviors, we open ourselves to the richness of life. This shift in perspective allows us to experience greater joy and satisfaction in the present moment, enriching our lives in countless ways. The journey to true freedom. Letting go of the ego is a journey of self-discovery and transformation. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to look within. Yet, the rewards are immeasurable. As we release the ego, we unlock a deeper sense of freedom, happiness, and authentic self-expression. The journey to true freedom is one of self-awareness and inner exploration. By recognizing and releasing the ego, we reconnect with our true essence and the world around us. This journey is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding, offering us a path to greater fulfillment and joy. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of letting go of the ego. We hope these insights and practices inspire you to recognize and release the ego, allowing you to experience the profound freedom and happiness that lie within. Remember, the true self you seek is already within you, waiting to be discovered. We hope this video has provided valuable insights into the importance of letting go of the ego and how it can transform your life. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos on spiritual growth and personal development. Let us know in the comments how you plan to incorporate these practices into your daily routine. Until next time, stay present and stay peaceful.